So guys, this guy's showing us how to make a bushcraft candle. I seen this video months ago, but it came back up again, and then I realized, like, the first time I seen this man's video about stuff being set fire, I all of a sudden had flashbacks. Basically, how when I was having those visions, and I was having some visions about things that were happening around the world, and one of the things that I had seen was people setting fires to barns, and they set a fire in the trees in the forest because it basically was to basically hide how the intention was to set fire to a barn that was out in the woods, or a cabin, but to me it looked like a barn, but it was like maybe a shed that it was a barn that was being used as a shed, and there were some documents and some other things that was being hidden in that shed somewhere here in Oregon. And that's why they had all these forest fires going on. And then seeing how he said that the resin, or whatever the stuff is called, in the tree was extremely flammable. That's why they set some of these fires and play it off as it just in the summer months. That why it's all of a sudden it's trees. Not saying that every single time that there's a wildfire that it started because of one of those morons, but this time the last year is, I believe, either a few months ago, earlier this year or last year, is when I remembered all of a sudden why the visions I had of why some of these forest fires happen, because they were hiding evidence of something. So if it's basically like when they don't want an autopsy, which is the word I was looking for in another video, instead of calling it medical examination, which is kind of what it is, but it's around the same time that I found out about them hiding the truth by paying people that do autopsies off, paying them off so that they could agree to basically bribe them to lie about the toxicology report and the autopsy that they do. So I think this might be helpful information to help wake people up, to get them to see the reality of like how wicked and how certain things get covered up, and the full truth doesn't come out about something. When you feel that there's something that's not sitting right in your spirit about a situation, that might be why, because of them bribing people in the medical field, and maybe even firefighters too, because like by the time the firefighters get to the fire to actually put the fire out in the forest, the barn was already burned down, and that it started from the barn and led to the tree, so that it can appear to have been a forest fire, and then the evidence is burning up, that is burnt up, and that way it might make it difficult. If they're smart enough, it'll make it more difficult for them to figure out how the fire was even started in the first place. But a rule of thumb I think they like to go by is just say it was a forest fire, even if they did find out it was another reason behind that particular forest fire happening. So thanks, bud. He's the one who reminded me, because he said, watch the wick that he makes. See what he said? The resin is extremely flammable, so it's a good substitute for wax. And that's why people that have this type of knowledge can be dangerous if they decide to want to hide something. I'm not saying like this guy is dangerous. I think he's awesome, because watching his shows last year, along with Men with the Pot, those people who was cooking out in the wild, me watching them was for if I ever caught myself in a situation that I needed to survive out in the... Sorry about that. If I ever caught myself in a situation where I had to survive out in the wild, then I would have these ideas stored in my memory so that I would not panic. All right, that's it, guys. Hopefully that helps somehow. Thank you.